Jalen Brunson, a career high assists against the Nuggets there. So, if nothing else, we've learned about this team so far that they can bounce back after a loss. I believe they are 6-1 after a loss. So, Jeff, you first, man. What's your take on where the Knicks are right now?
Well, I think if you want to nitpick some losses that they shouldn't have, they probably should have a couple more wins than they do. But I think looking at their history and how they've started slow, you have to be happy that they're 3 games above 500 and they're starting to figure out their offense. This is a team that, by cleaning the glass metrics, are number 1 in offensive rating. They're in positive point differential. And this is all without everybody clicking on all cylinders. Jalen Brunson was trying to find his form early. Now he's rounding into it. And Mikal Bridges is still trying to find that jumper, the mad scientist, working on a way to calibrate his jumper beyond 22 feet, but still is able to be effective in the mid-range. So given everything that they have, and oh, by the way, this is a team that just got together. They have a whole lot of new moving parts. You have to be pleased with what you've seen offensively from them and the potential. It seems like every time I watch them, their ceiling just continues to raise. And once Mikal Bridges gets into form and has some type of consistency, we could be looking at one of the best offenses in NBA history by rating.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're talking about starting to figure out their offense. Every time I look, they're scoring 125, 130, 145 points. I mean, Towns has absolutely been lighting it up. It's funny, you don't think you're going to say this with a Tibbs team, but the question is can this team be good enough defensively to put the Knicks in a position where they are a real threat to the juggernaut that is the Boston Celtics and this Cleveland team that has only lost 1 game. Offensively, they are absolutely sensational.
Yeah, Karl Towns, fastest in Knick history to 400 points, 200 rebounds. Tim, when this trade happened before training camp, what were your initial thoughts, and do they match what you've seen so far?
Yeah, I mean, listen, you knew that Towns was going to come in there and just give them a completely different dynamic on the offensive end. And I thought that it might take a little bit of time for the Brunson-Cat chemistry to develop, but I thought that Brunson was going to benefit big time from having a big who could space the floor like he does. And then, honestly, my initial thought was, is it going to go better with Tibbs and Cat this time around? It didn't go great in Minnesota. And Cat was a young guy then, and I don't think he was nearly as mature as he is now. But Tibbs wasn't able to build a respectable defense with Cat as the anchor back then. I still think that's a huge challenge. And I think a big part of that puzzle has not played a second for the Knicks this season. And obviously I'm talking about Mitchell Robinson. So once they get Robinson back, how much is Cat going to play alongside him? How much are their minutes going to be staggered? I know that Tibbs wants to play his starters 45 minutes a game, even if they're blowing out the Nuggets by like 30 points. But I don't think we're going to know the potential of this team on the defensive end of the floor until Robinson's not only back, but able to kind of get his legs under him.